Looks only like a flesh wound, Pa Hogwash.
Them fudges aren't as good marksmen as they used to be.
Hector Fudge caught me unawares. I was down by the creek hunting up dandelion greens and the sneaking critter winged me.
Well, you got him good last week. That was a nasty wound you gave him on his ankle. I was over there taking care of it.
You're an angel of mercy, Mammy. And you too, Betty Lou. You've both been a comfort and a blessing to those in the hills ever since Mom passed to the great beyond.
Yep, we sure are grateful, Mammy and Betty Lou.
Indeed we are.
Shocked Pot and shocked Bluebell. It's really nothing. Everybody had to do what he can for his fellow critters, and I was always one pretending the sick and the suffering. But I'm telling you something, Pa Hogwash. I'm getting mighty fed up patching hogwash wounds and fudge wounds.
You people been feuding for as long as I can remember.
Them fudges is all snakes. As Grandpa used to say in the days when he was talking, there's no good fudge but a dead fudge.
Them harsh words, them Hogwash.
But them true words, Mammy Crackers.
How is Grandpa Hogwash these days?
Poorly. For 9 or 10 years, he's been a sitting and a rocking in that chair. Don't say nothing, don't do nothing, except eat.
He always was a mite lazy.
Not so much lazy, he is a sensible. I recollect he used to tell me when I was a boy, son, when you can sit, sit. When you can get flat on your back, get there. Ain't no use rushing around in this world.
The true lady or gentleman always appears to be relaxed. He or she will at all times maintain an air of calm and graciousness.
My, you sure do say things real pretty, Lulu Bell.
That's what comes of an education.
Lulu Bell was in school for almost 2 years up to Badger Creek.
Badger Creek, say that's a real big place.
Sure is. Must be all of 200 people living up there. Too big for me. I can't stand all the noise and excitement of them big places.
The reason why my talk is so elegant, Betty Lou, is because at school our only book was Mrs. Moonmush's phrase book for young ladies, published in 1855. I memorized it.
My, it must be wonderful to have a brain like yours, Lulubelle. Now, that bandage ought to hold, at least until you get winged by them fudges again.
Blast their dang hides.
Now, Pa, a true gentleman never gives vent to his most deeply felt emotions.
What started all the feuding between the hogwashes and the fudges?
A right complicated story, Betty Lou. Started way back in great-great-grandpa Hogwash's day. Great-great-grandpa Hogwash was a great hand for flowers. Went out picking daisies one day on the other side of our property. Great-great-grandpa Fudge seen him and shot him right through the leg. Fudge claimed that Grandpa Hogwash was on Fudge property. Ever since then, we've been laying for each other.
There's no good fudge but a dead fudge.
To maintain tensions among neighbors, as Mrs. Moonmush says in her phrase book, is an act bordering on the discourteous.
That Mrs. Moonmush never knew such sneaking lying hounds as the Fudges. If she had, she never would have written the words.
Morning, Mammy Crackers. Them fudges wing you again, Paul?
Morning, Zeke.
They got me again, son, but I'll be getting one of them before long.
There's no good fudge but a dead fudge.
Right, son, right. Truer words was never spoken.
There's a stranger wandering around near here. See him down near the creek.
A stranger? It's not one of the mealy-mouthed Fudges, is it?
Don't look like one of them fudges, Paul. It's not my fudge. It's not Hector or Harriet.
Hector's the one that winged me. Blast his hide.
They ain't any of them. The fact is, I've never seen this one before. He's a right good-looking young feller.
True hospitality is one of the most pleasant signs of good breeding. We should welcome the stranger.
Just because Zeke said he was good looking. Hey, Lulu Bell?
And a brother should always display toward his sister the utmost respect and sincerest affection.
That's what Mrs. Moonrush says, I reckon.
She does indeed.
That's one of them low-born Fudges. I'll blast his hide to kingdom come.
Control yourself, Pa Hogwash.
How do you do, sir?
What's your business, young feller?
I'm a stranger and alone, seeking the fare of a night's rest far as my wanderings.
One should comfort the stranger and offer him the hospitality of the hearth.
Those words, they sound familiar. Where have I heard them?
I quote Mrs. Moonmush's phrase book for young ladies, sir.
Mrs. Moonmush?
You know her, stranger?
No, but during my schooling in Purple Creek, on the other side of these hills, my chief book was Mr. Moonmush's phrase book for young gentlemen.
Indeed, I have heard of it. Mr. Moonmush wrote a book for young gentlemen, similar to which his wife wrote for young ladies. I am Lilibel Hogwash, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance, stranger.
I am Ronald Candy. Shaken by the tensions of modern civilization, I am indulging in a walking tour to gain back my peace of mind.
The habit of walking in the open air is the tonic for both young and old of either sex.
That's exactly what Mr. Moonmush says.
So does Mrs. Moonmush.
Say, you young folks have plenty in common.
Indeed we have.
I'm Amy Crackers.
I'm Betty Lou Crackers.
I'm Pa Hogwash.
I'm Zeb Hogwash.
I'm Zeke Hogwash.
And there in the rocking chair is Grandpa Hogwash.
I'm delighted to meet you, sir.
Don't expect Grandpa to say nothing. He hasn't talked for 9 out of 10 years.
How tragic. Is he ill?
No, there's nothing really wrong with Grandpa. He just don't believe in exerting himself. Got a good appetite, though. Eats his 3 square meals a day, and then some.
Toward the age, one should always comport oneself with the greatest of respect and the maximum of solicitude.
Mr. Moonmush?
Yes,
Mrs. Moonmush says the same thing.
he and his wife must have been kindred spirits, even as you and I.
Oh, sir.
So you be wanting a nice lodging, stranger?
I should appreciate it, Pa Hogwash.
Well, don't see much harm in giving you bed and board for the night. Not much room in here, but we can bed you out in the shed.
That would be most satisfactory.
But the pig's been sleeping in there, Pa.
We'll get her out for the night. Fresh air will do her a heap of good.
We'll get her out now, Pa.
We'll be on our way, too. Old Mrs. T. Blossom is feeling poorly, and we promised to drop by.
You're angels of mercy, Mammy and Betty Lou.
As for you, Pa, keep your way out of them fudges. I'm getting low on bandages.
There's no good fudge but a dead fudge.
Ma Fudge says there's no good hogwash but a dead hogwash.
Ma Fudge is a sneaking hyena of a woman with a stone where her heart ought to be.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm sick of all your feuding. Goodbye, all.
Goodbye.